Good evening, everybody. I hope you're well. I'm just muting my phone to make sure that nobody calls me, mithers me, pesters me whilst we're on tonight's live. I hope you're really, really well. Tonight we are going to be covering Facebook and just checking people are here and the live feed is going out well. So if you're here, please don't wave at me because I can't see you. But it would be great to let me know you're in the chat. I'm ready for tonight's session. If you've not seen any of our sessions before, we do these free every Tuesday evening, different topics. And in October, we start a new round of topics. Alice, welcome. I have seen your message today. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just overrun with messages, but I have seen your message. And I think we've actually sent you some stuff today as well. So Alice, nice to see you. Radhika, I think that's how Radhika, nice to see you. I think you've been here before, Radhika. So we're going to do this is tonight's session. You may have seen it before, but it's a very simple strategy you can implement on Facebook to find B2B customers. You can put them into your own Facebook. You can grow your own group. This is a real simple way to do something with Facebook B2B. So we'll do this tonight. We're going to start in a couple of minutes. Just let everybody know that we're here. Let everybody give the chance to join, and then we'll go through tonight's training. And Vasco's here with me as well. He's sat. Yes, Radhika, we are. Vasco's here as well, so he may make an appearance tonight. If you're lucky, he doesn't just come out for just anybody. So we will get started in a second. I'm going to be showing you how to do B2B on Facebook. And like anything, if you enjoy this, if you get value from this, I'd love you to join our Social Selling Accelerator, which is really working with me in a group, one-to-one sessions and training sessions in a live environment to actually get results and get you clients, paying clients. So that's what we do together on the accelerator. So it's a partnership. We work together to do it. I bring the expertise. I help you not overthink. So we'll start tonight's session. Quick session tonight. Really simple, really easy for anybody to do. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat. And Vasco, if you want to ask questions as we go, just so that people can, Vasco's a LinkedIn man. He's a proper LinkedIn man. So Vasco's going to play devil's advocate for some of this tonight so that you can see another perspective.
I am, yeah.
He is here. I don't know whether you can see him on screen, but he'll play devil's advocate. So if you want to join social selling, the link's there. But let's get started. So there's a lot in this session, but a lot of it is quite quick and simple. And you can come back to the replay link for tonight's session, which will help you kind of go over it because there's a lot to cover. So how I got into this, quick summary, just so that you know, everything that I do, I've tried myself. And that's one of the rules we have in Maverrik is if we haven't done it ourselves, we don't teach it. If we haven't got results from doing it ourselves, we don't teach it. So I absolutely hate making cold calls, but wanted to sell more stuff. So naturally, social media and digital channels were brilliant for me, and direct mail, by the way. I love direct mail. I wanted to get business, didn't feel like a natural seller, needed to hit numbers, didn't have a choice, basically. So this is how I found social media, and I do have a claim to fame. So a number of years ago, I ran a marketing campaign for an event with no budget. They had no money and had to sell tickets with no major headline. In fact, the only major headline was the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, but he wasn't the Prime Minister then, he was the Mayor of London. And I used Facebook to literally sell tickets. Back in 2012, when Facebook wasn't what it was now, there was no ads involved, it was just hard graft. And 38,000 tickets later, we had a team, obviously, people working on it, but it was 38,000 tickets with no ad money, no revenue, no budget. It was literally, you have to sell it to make it. So I'm going to teach some of those principles that still work today, and you can go ahead and implement that tomorrow. Or if you're in the US, later today. So this has served me well for a long time. I'm teaching you what I've experienced, what I know works. And actually, we're helping clients do this today. Some of our team are actually helping clients do this on a day-by-day basis. So just a quick thing, marketing is not about being in the right place at the right time. It's being in the right place for the right time. And there's an important distinction between those two. Between being at the right place at the right time means you have to be in just that right space at that right time, or is it being in that right place for the right time? So I believe it's the latter, and I'll show you why that matters as we go. No fancy stuff, no technology, no secret hacks, dead simple, real simple. So, but before I just got into the practicalities of this, I just want to kind of highlight something here, which we call the one strategy. So the one strategy is something we teach in all of our sessions because it's the most important thing that you can understand. Is when you embark on any form of social selling, your first challenge is to get the attention and interest of your customer, and you need a strategy to do that. If you're all over the show, if you're not focused, you will struggle to make any kind of impact or lasting impression. So you have to focus on one client, one problem, one message, and one offer. Not permanently, if you've got lots of different products and services, but you need to get what they call market penetration, that people know that you can solve a problem for a group of people. And that's what you have to focus on. One client, one type of customer that has one specific problem. You build one message, one clear message for them, and one clear offer, call to action that pushes people into your sales process. And that's really absolutely essential, because if one day you're promoting this and the next day you're promoting that and the next day you're doing this, nobody will know what you are about. They'll never understand what you're about. They'll never get it. They'll never see the value, and they'll never see the relevance to them. So the one strategy is something you do to punch through, a bit like you're facing a brick wall. You can try and trying to knock a brick wall down. You can try and spread your energy across the full width of the wall and try and push the whole thing over. Or you can try punching at one space and make a hole and then make that hole bigger and bigger. And that's the one strategy, really. Don't try and spread yourself too thin. Become very sharp, very pointed, make it a dent into the market, and then build out from there. That's essentially the one strategy. It works on social media because you get known for something, and then you can develop what you're known for something else, and known for something else, or known by different groups for different things. But you need to punch through with one clear message to one client who has one problem, and make one clear offer of what you can do. And of course, people only buy from people they believe. Yeah. So there's lots of people who go on social media, Facebook, and say, I can do this and I can do that and I can do the other. And a lot of it is BS. A lot of it is bullshit. Yeah. What you're looking to do is not only convince people that you've got an amazing product or service, but you have to get people to believe in you as a person. You're representing the business, that they believe what you say and what you've got to offer. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you. And thanks for commenting on our new video, by the way. So to get more clients, it's very, very simple. People need to believe that you can solve their problem. People need to believe that you can solve their problem. That's why people buy. They don't buy because of 24/7 support and all these things. They buy because they think that you can solve their problem. So if you can solve their problem and they believe you, you will win hands down. You will win hands down. Okay. This is an overview slide. This is something I put in all of my things. It's just to understand that you can't make people believe you. You can't force people to believe you. We all know we're in the era where people believe whatever they want. People don't believe facts. It doesn't matter if you present them to them, they don't believe it. Belief is something that people learn and discover for themselves. And your job is to help people discover that you can solve their problem, that your business, your product, your service can solve their problem. They have to discover it for themselves. You can't tell them, we are brilliant and we will solve your problem. they have to learn to believe what you're saying. And belief is a bit like reading between the lines. Yeah. You can present information and they will interpret it for themselves. And if you present too much stuff, a bit like if you put out too big a claim, let's say you've done amazing results for a particular company or a particular person. If you put unbelievable claims out, or over exaggerated claims, or claims that, like, I don't know, let's say I came on and said I can make you £1 million in 3 weeks, guaranteed. If you're a small business owner who's only turning over £100,000, you would look at that and go, maybe they can. Yeah. So first, he might believe me. He might believe me if he's got to know me, seen me on LinkedIn for a while, seen the fact that I do a lot of things and I offer a lot of value. He might believe me that I can do that. And I have done that for people. Not everybody. Yeah. Not the majority. It's a small percentage. The vast majority. We've actually done that, Vasco, for one client, £1 million in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But that's not normal. Most people don't get £1 million in 3 weeks. It's crazy. But let's say I'm talking to a small business owner who turns over 150,000 a year, and they see that claim, they go, wow, that's good. Or they go, he's full of bullshit. One or the other. If they've seen me a while and they see that, they go, well, maybe he's not messing about. Maybe he's serious. But then if they're 150,000 turnover business, they could believe that I've done that for somebody else, but they may not believe that I can do it for them. So be very careful about what claims, what benefits, what outcomes you put out into the market, because whilst it may show how good you are, it could also alienate the people who don't think that they could get that result, because it might be just out of where their expectation is. So trust and building belief is a two-step thing. They have to believe you, that you're not a liar, a scammer, a con artist, but they have to believe that you can do it for them too, which is a different thing again. It's like, do I believe people can win the lottery? Yeah, I believe people can win the lottery. I believe people win the jackpot and win millions of pounds, or win Euro Millions and win £100 million. Great. Or 100 million euros. But do I believe I can win the lottery? And that's a different story. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. So both levels of belief you've got to do to secure a sale. Hi, Srikanth. Welcome. So hopefully that makes sense and why that's important. So this is so simple. I mean, literally, you're going to go, really? And it's this simple. We actually helped a client get 2 leads in the first day from just doing this. So what do you need to do this? Number one, you need a Facebook personal profile. That's the first thing. Hi, Graham. So you need a Facebook personal profile. You need a solid ideal client profile. Now, if you haven't got a copy of our ideal client profile, drop us an email and we'll send you the link. You'll need a compelling first offer. Yeah, your one offer. That's to get them on the ladder of becoming a customer, or up a rung on the ladder. You need some big gun content, and I'll talk about that in a bit. And you need consistency and time. Yeah, so you don't need to spend any money to do this. Yeah, of course, if you want to accelerate it, or if you think, actually, I need more in-depth knowledge of how to do this, or I need some more support in tailoring this, absolutely join our Social Selling Accelerator. But you can do this without spending a penny. So, quick strategy. Very, very quick strategy. And then I'll go through some practicalities on Facebook with you. The hook, incubate, and hatch strategy is the simplest way to build an audience with people who have a problem that you can solve, or in an industry or sector of the market that you can serve or supply. So hook, incubate, hatch. So here's how it works. I've got a Facebook account. It's full of my family members, pictures, all that kind of stuff. I would reposition my Facebook profile so it's a bit more business-like. I wouldn't get rid of it. Some people prefer to create a new Facebook just for business, but I can show you ways where you don't have to do that. But you need a profile that's ready and makes you look credible, i.e. you haven't got a weird-looking picture. It's a clean, straightforward picture. Your header says what you do, that kind of thing. I would then join Facebook groups. Hi, Stuart. Join a Facebook group, and I'll show you this in real time in a minute, where I can find people who are in the sectors that I want to talk to. So say, for an example, actually, I'll bring Facebook up now. And the new Facebook's really annoying. But let's say I'm looking for coaches. I can type in coach, and then I scroll down to the groups here, and I can find all the groups that are about coaches. And there's a number of them. So here we go, the coaching jungle. I could join this. Yeah. And how long have I been coaching? Well, I do one-to-one coaching, 10 years. I'll put my email address in. Now, just to be aware, most coaching says no selling, no requests to PMs in the comments, no polls or surveys, no links, no Facebook Live, no uploading files, no requests for interviews, no hiring or referrals. So I can't join groups and just post my propaganda. I have to really own and be part of the community. And that's good for two reasons. First of all, if you want to be part of a community, you should take part in it. You should be involved in it. You should add to it. You shouldn't just be looking to extract from it. But the second thing is, the people who've made these groups and built them and done the work will be really upset if you just post your propaganda in there, because it ruins the quality of their group. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to add to the group, the group. You're going to add questions and engage with people and interact with people and make part of your daily routine to contribute to a group. And what you could do is have maybe 5-6 groups and decide you're going to add value into each group on one group each day. So engage with comments, share your thoughts and opinions, all of that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to take a long time, but once a day you're going to ask a question. And you're going to ask a question that will help reveal your customer or people who have the problem or pain that you can solve. So you're not going to ask questions that don't give you that answer. So for an example, if I was part of a coaching group, I could ask people, have you struggled to sell your coaching services since COVID? And some people will come back and say yes, some people will say no, some people will give you their thoughts, and you can engage with all those people. And then I would build relationships with those people who've said yes and no. Yes, the ones that have struggled to sell their coaching services during COVID are prime people to go onto our social selling programs to help them sell more through social media. But I would engage with them and really interact with them with a view that I want to incubate them so that I can build a relationship with them, so they can see me and get to know me and trust me and believe me in what I do. I do what I say I can do. So I would engage with them deliberately, but meaningfully, not propaganda, but engage with what they're talking about, engage with their opinions. And then I would build a relationship with them so that I could be their friend on Facebook. Literally be their friend on Facebook. And then because I've been their friend on Facebook, they're now on my Facebook feed. They're going to start to see my content, which will be my content about my services, insights, tips, value pieces, some personal stuff. Very, very straightforward things, but now they're my Facebook friend, they start to see it. And then I come to hatching. So I would be deliberately engaging with their stuff as well, and interacting with their stuff to build that relationship. Remember, we're not trying to just friend request people and pitch them. We're trying to build a relationship, build trust, so that they'll make a decision to buy from us. So then I'm looking to hatch them. And this is where our offer comes in, or our ladder. And it may well be that you have a series of stages you want to take people through. So for an example, the first thing you might want to do is offer them a PDF or show them something that is of value to them. So it might be how coaches can use Facebook to build, to get new clients. 5 simple tips. You could offer that to them as a download and see if they're interested. And if they're interested, you could then invite them to your Facebook group, and you could create a Facebook group. Or you could invite them to a webinar, and you take them on a webinar, make an offer at the end to see if they want to go further onto your services or your program. But the webinar is really your opportunity to shine in front of people who have a problem that you can solve, or have a challenge that you can help them achieve something. Yeah. So hook, incubate, hatch. Very, very simple. But the idea is that you incubate them on your profile till the time when you're ready. So you make sure they're starting to see you on a regular basis, see posts that are of value to them, but also see your face on a regular basis, so they get to know you. And you are engaging with them and what they're putting out to show that you're interested in what they're doing, and you're not just there to get their money, because there's enough of those people around. You've got to give value and earn the right for them to be a customer. Now, people go, oh, this sounds interesting, but isn't this a bit simple? Yeah, it is. It's really simple. It's so simple, people try and complicate it. But actually it works. I put a member of our team who's not really a Facebook person, but I put a member of our team on it and said, do exactly this. Within 2 days, they had 2 new leads. Correct, Vasco? 2 days, 2 new leads. Just by doing this. Going into a group, asking a question that reveals the people that you want to buy, or have the problem that you can solve. And then building a relationship, engaging with them, engaging in the group. Incubate them on your profile till you're ready to make an offer, to give them a lead magnet, to invite them to a webinar, or to get them into your group. Very, very simple. Hook, incubate, hatch. Hook, incubate, hatch. So hook them in a group, incubate them on your profile, hatch them on something else. Very, very simple process. Very, very simple process. There's a couple little tweaks we can do as we go here that I can show you that will help. But effectively, this is the ladder. Right now, if you're not selling on Facebook in this way, you're totally unknown. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody can remember who you are. Your job with the hook, incubate and hatch is to be known by the people who you want to do business with. Get them to know you, trust you, believe you, see the value. So it's, if we start at the bottom of the ladder, the first thing is start to get people to know you and see you. Engage with the people who have the problem you can solve. Yeah? Hook. Ask the questions in the group. Engage with them. Hook. Incubate them. Friend request them. Interact with them. Don't sales pitch them. Share content that adds value to them. Share information, tips, a bit of personal stuff. Incubate. Hatch. Move them forward in a lead magnet, webinar, training session, free call, group. Put them into your own group. Invite them to your own group. These are all ways to take them through a process, and a very simple and simplistic process that works for any business, anytime. The most difficult bit is understanding your customer and getting into their world. The technology involved, i.e. using Facebook, is the easy bit. But getting into the customer's world, the customer's mind and the way they think is the hard bit. And that's the bit where if you do our ICP, Ideal Client Profile, it will force you to think in the customer's world, which actually is harder than you might think. It's actually quite difficult. But once you've done it, the ICP form, which Kurt put together for us, which is brilliant but hard work, a lot of thinking, not hard work, a lot of thinking. Once you've done that, it actually creates the questions for you. It actually creates the content for you, because all of the things that you need to talk about are in that form. It might take you an hour and a half to do it, but once you've done it, you will have everything you need to go into the groups, to decide what lead magnets to do, to decide what webinars you need to do, because remember, customers are looking for solutions to their problems. So if you understand their problem really, really well, and how they think about it, and the other, the consequences of the problems, the symptoms of the problems, and all these different things, you start to understand that, you can talk in their language. You can write lead magnets that add value to them. You can write content that adds value. Even when sometimes you might look at Facebook or LinkedIn and go, what the hell do I post? And what you see is a lot of people posting their propaganda and getting no engagement, no reach, no visibility. Whereas if you flip it round, go into the customer's world, you will get a lot of engagement, a lot of interest, and a lot of trust and belief in what you can do. So that's all this ladder's there to do, is take you from an unknown quantity to sale. Very, very simple. And the hook, incubate, and hatch is the overarching rungs to get you there. So 4 stages to somebody taking action. We will do some Facebook demos, so we'll go in there. Please do, if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. I'll happily answer your questions. But this is really, really easy to do, really, tonight. 4 stages to taking action. There's people realise they have a problem. Yeah, oh, sales aren't as good this month, or we're not getting as many leads as we used to. Leads are going down, or conversions going down. Problem. Then they look at what's happening in the market. They might see industry stats, they might see other things, and they go, oh, other people aren't getting this conversion. The average, industry average, is 5%. Why is ours only 1%? So they'll start to see that. Then, and people think, oh, decision, is that the sale? No. The decision is they're going to do something about it. They're going to do something about it. The customer goes, I've got a problem. Oh, look at that. We could be doing that. Oh, now. But are they going to do anything about it? Are they seriously going to take action? Yeah? And that's the next stage they've got to reach. Are they going to take action? Now, what classically people do is they skirt through the problem, skirt through the outcome, skirt through a decision and try and say, here's my solution. I can do this for you, blah, 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 blah. They don't help people go from, you've got a problem, you've got this outcome. It's important that you make a decision to act. It's not just important to go, yeah, you can have the outcome. You've got to make a decision to do something about it. Yeah? And then agree a solution that solves their problem. In other words, that's the sale. The solution is the sale. So you can have a customer who knows they've got a problem, knows they could get something different, but never has actually made the decision to change it. And so they are what's known as the tire kickers. They'll keep looking for different answers, but they'll never make a decision to change it. They're the customers who ghost you. They're the customers who show interest or ask for a quote and then never come back, never do anything about it. So your job in your content is not just, and your lead magnets, is not just to say, oh, I can do this, or I can, do you have this problem? I can give you this solution, outcome, and here's the solution. You've got to get people to see why it's important to make a decision. So that's most of the selling process is emotive. It's emotive. So you've got to get people to engage with these areas. And we do talk about this more in Social Selling Accelerator, but these are key. So I've just put some examples here so you can see them. Problem, are you fed up of hunting for clients? Would you like 10 clients per month? Are you ready to quit scrounging for work? Yeah. and solution, I can help you get 10 clients in the next 45 days. Yeah. Now those claims, they're not impossible if people will stick with it and work. And if you do this, it's not impossible for you to do that result. Everything that I'm saying there, if you do all this, what I'm saying today, in 45 days, you can have 10 clients. But you don't need me. You only need me if you get 2 in your own head, you struggle to get in your client's head, or you struggle, you're a natural overthinker, you're more analytical, and so the emotive side you struggle with. Because you can do all of this yourself. I mean, literally, you can do all this. It's not a great sales pitch for me to say that, but you can. Yeah, I've done it. Other people have done it. I've shown somebody with no experience how to do it. So you can do this. You know, I'd love you on the SSA, but you can do this yourself. So this is just one client that I told them to start posting about. I followed our posting strategy, pain points, problems, all of that kind of stuff. 28 grand project done, 28,000 pounds of plus VAT of work, and that was done a week after they started posting stuff. A week. Yeah, so you can do this. Lots of people do this. So I'm going to show you some examples of how this works in Facebook. So let me just pull up Facebook. And if there's any questions, please do ask them in the chat. So just a couple of quick things that are important for you. You may want to do specific posts to specific people. So what you can do is in the home feed on Facebook, you've got friends lists, and you can create friends lists for different things and add people to the list. So when you're in a group, you can literally go into a group, and anybody you build a relationship with in that, you can literally pull them into your group. When you post on Facebook, you can actually choose who you're posting to. So you can go in here on Facebook, you see where it says public, you can go to specific friends, and then you can find the name of the list. So LinkedIn people. And then that post will only go to the people that are on that list. So if that's 100 people on that list or one person on that list, you're sending one post to one person. Or if you've joined multiple groups with multiple problems, you could have a group for coaches who struggle to get clients. You could have IT professionals who struggle to get clients. You could have all of these different things, and then you just filter the groups to do your content so that people can start to see it, but it feels more tailored to their problem, their challenges, or frustrations. Very, very simple. And I use my profile as a holding area with a view that I'll run a campaign, ultimately, which will either be to grow my group, it will be to build my lead magnets, so I get them into a lead magnet, invite them to a free training. I'm a firm believer, particularly with what we do, is that if people see us, get to know us, see what we're about, they'll either buy into what we're doing or they won't. But if they buy into us after seeing us, they know what we're about. And so when we present an offer, if they're interested, they'll take it. So part of our strategy is to pull people to free training so they can see us, get to know us, love us, hate us, indifferent. Somebody actually said I was boring and put them to sleep. That kind of cut a little bit. So, but you know, but that's the fundamentals of the process. It's so simple. Anybody can do it. Now, some people go, well, I don't know whether I can find a group for me. Well, I can find a business owners group, and I can find tons of them. Business owners group, UK business owners group, UK small business support, UK small business owners, small business entrepreneurship. There's tons of them. Yeah. I can find marketing managers. I can find event managers. Let's have a look. See if I can find event managers group. Tons. Amazon sellers group. 59,000 members of an Amazon sellers group. So there's pretty much any people you want to sell to, they are there. You know, they're there. It's really simple. They're all there. Go find them, do the research. But the key thing is understanding your client's problem and pain and getting in their world, because that will really help you make this work. Because otherwise what you'll do is you'll keep posting all the stuff that hasn't worked. And I don't mean to be nasty, and I'm not meaning it nasty, but when you're in your own world, you think completely differently. Let's just get our info out. Let's just promote, and people will buy. When you get in the customer's world, you don't have to promote so much. You just share things and people buy. And that's the thing that we try to... You either go down one of two routes. You go down the route of, I'm going to sell, and hope it works. You know, posting, promoting, messaging people, hitting people up on LinkedIn, whatever you're going to do. Or you go, I'm going to switch sides and adjust everything I'm doing to get into the customer's world so that they see I'm relevant and come to me. Yes, I'm going to have to do some deliberate work, but I'm never going to have to promote in an aggressive way or a pushy way. And as a result, people will come to me. And I prefer that route. Yeah, I prefer that route, because then I'm not desperate. I'm not hunting down people. I'm not pestering people. I'm literally drawing a crowd. And the people who like what I do will stay. The people who don't will go. So you've either got one or two routes. Yeah. And, you know, you can get tied up in knots about different strategies, but this is the fundamentals of it. And if you're using adverts and they're not working, let me just give you a tip. Stop. Absolutely stop. There's all these people telling you to go do ads and funnels and all this bullshit. Yeah. And half of them are making money on selling you the tools to build the funnels and not actually making any money themselves from doing the work themselves. You know, they're just selling you as an affiliate. It's rubbish. The first principle of doing ads is test organically first. So if it works organically, it will work with paid ads. Now, the reason why most people fail at paid ads is because they're not in their customer's world. What matters to them, how do they express it? Is that a real problem that they face? And if you do this process, you will learn to talk to your customer and they will think you're psychic because you understand them really well. And I think it's the responsibility of any business owner to actually understand their customer's problems better than their customer. Yeah, better than their customer. You know why? Because if you're solving a problem for a particular group of people or a particular customer profile, a particular client profile, those problems will manifest by lots of different customers in very similar ways. So you have the benefit of resolving or helping customers with this problem multiple times. Your customer might only have to resolve this problem once. So a bit like a solicitor or a lawyer, they deal with disputes all the time. But when we as business owners or we as an individual have to deal with a dispute, it can feel very uncertain, very nerve-wracking, and a bit terrifying, and a bit confrontational. But to a lawyer, it's run-of-the-mill. And that's where you should be. Lawyer understands the customer's problem, deals with these types of problems all the time, and so can speak to the customer and explain to the customer and show the customer how they can resolve it easily and more straightforward than perhaps they think. And that's really, 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 really important. So if you get into the customer's world and really understand the customer's world, not only will this organic strategy work for you brilliantly, to the point where you might go, why bother with ads? But you will then be able to write better ad copy, understand what lead magnets to do, because, you know, there's so many variables in an ad campaign, from is it the right ad creative? Is it the right copy? Was it the right offer? Was the landing page right? Did we say the right things on the landing page? Was the opt-in easy? There's so many variables. But if you can master this organically, you can master this as a paid promotion. So for an example, we run lead magnets. We test them on Facebook. We test them on LinkedIn. Organically, we see what works, see what flies, and then we decide to promote them. But I've never used ads up till 2020 for our own stuff. I've helped clients with their ads. We've helped other customers with their ads, but we've never used ads in the way that we do today. Before that, we didn't do it. So any questions? Hopefully this helps. Hopefully I've not put you to sleep, but it's a very, very simple strategy. If you've enjoyed this session, I'm more than happy to give you some more questions, take questions and answers and things. But if you've enjoyed this session, please do subscribe to the channel. Come find me on Facebook. Come find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to be friends or connect with you, whichever way where you want to connect. But any questions? It's such a simple thing. Really, really simple. One strategy. And then, so the one strategy, which is, one client, one problem, one message, one offer. First thing. Then hook, incubate, hatch. Hook, incubate, hatch. You do that on Facebook, sorted. Vasco, as not an avid Facebook user for business, do you want to come in and just share some thoughts? And I'll move over so Vasco can get in.
By the way, I was watching you. No, I didn't even appear.
You will.
Oh, there I am. So, Facebook for business.
Yeah.
I think everyone thinks that Facebook is just B2C.
Yeah.
And probably they are right a few years ago. Today, especially with groups, Facebook is the place to be. You just have to work at it, get your prospects out of the woodwork, and work it. I think what most people find, I don't know if that's been with you when you talk to some of our clients, is that most people are not used to this new way of working. It's not only Facebook, it's also on LinkedIn, because everything's different from what we sort of were taught, what we saw, and how the world moved around. All of a sudden, you have to nurture, you have to look in a different way. And I think that's what takes more getting used to.
And Alice is asking here, can it be women in the... Alice, it can be, but given I know a little bit about what you do, only a little bit, I think there's more targeted groups you could be part of that would help. So I would think, yes, Alice, you could join generic groups, but I think there's more focus groups that you could do, or more narrower groups that would help you. So, Alice, yes, you could do that, but there's more tighter groups.
That's a very good one from Career Inspiration.
What questions would you ask if you're looking to find which business owners are making redundancies or need help with redundancy support? So, I would go, question for an example, and I know who Career Inspiration is. So I would go along the lines of, depending on the pain points you're tackling from the ideal client profile, but I would go down the lines of, are you worried about having to make redundancies? Or how do you overcome the feeling bad when you have to lay people off?
This becomes a moral question to most people.
And I know Career Inspiration. There is an extremely moral angle to what she's doing, and I know it's about being a responsible employer. But there is also HR professionals who go, how can you demonstrate? How are you demonstrating that you're supporting clients when they're moving on?
Yeah,
there's lots of different things.
Interesting question over there from Alice. I have a problem finding my one ideal client that is a photographer.
A photographer?
Usually it's the other way around.
Photographer. Alice, photographer is easy. Oh, if I could spell photographers. So, Alice, if it's photographers, There will be a group of photographers.
There you go.
Yeah, tons. Yeah. Bloody hell, Prayesh. Slow down. My wife will be... I'll be in trouble with my wife. No, Alice, you can find anybody on social media. So there we go. There's some groups there on photographers. You can also find a ton of photographers on LinkedIn. And you know, Alice, I know you're kind of new for that. How do you find startups that have just received investments?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, what have I just done?
Just there you go.
So I'll just put the keyword seed round. Maybe that's not a good one. So what I would do...
There you go.
No, photographers isn't too narrow. Photographers isn't too narrow. Alice, I'd also think about wedding photographers. Yeah, because you're doing kind of lace and very kind of vintage stuff, I think you could talk to people involved in weddings and that kind of thing.
Wedding planners.
Yeah, and Alice, you're in Canada, I think, or the US.
No, Canada.
Canada. So over here we've got a few tricky issues at the moment. Who was it who was asking? Sasha, how to find startups that have just received investment. So Sasha, what I would do is I would be going into these startup groups and I would asking people, what has been your biggest, remember this wording, and I'm just putting this question up on the fly.
You should write it down.
Are you ready, Sasha? What was your biggest challenge in securing funding for your business, startup funding for your business?
Oh, they'll come out of the woodwork with that one.
And they'll all start flooding out, telling you their advice and tips and tricks and the things that they did. Or how did you control your nerves when you pitched for investment? Yeah? Everybody will come out and share their opinion, and then you know everybody who's been funded and everybody who hasn't. Yeah, Alice, they would, but also... wedding photographers and anybody to do with weddings would love that kind of vintage weddings and all that kind of...
And there's groups about vintage. If you look there,
yeah.
There's groups on vintage. Vintage lace. Homes. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. There's some groups. Shabby Chic, Vintage and Retro group. Retro, Vintage, Antiques, Toys and Games. Antiques, Collective, Vintage, Retro. So all of that stuff would be brilliant. Direct mail, yes. Desperado, yes. Direct mail, as in post. I'll use everything. Actually, we sent 150 letters out last week, and those letters have netted us this week so far £800. So a couple of £100.
Slight problem. You had to sign each one of them.
I did. I signed it. Although we've scanned my signature in now, so it's easy.
Oh, is it? Okay. There's
Mark Robinson.
I'm looking for plant-based vegan companies or free from.
Plant-based. Let's have a look.
There's also these groups, these vegan ones. They also are on LinkedIn, by the way.
There we go. Plant-based and vegan recipes for beginners. Plant-based diet for beginners. Plant-based and whole food lifestyle. Plant-based on a budget. Plant-based vegan recipes. There's tons of them. So they're all there. You just have to get in the customer's world. You could even find or vegan business, and we go into groups. I bet there's a vegan business. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Vegan Businesses UK. Mark. Vegan Businesses UK.
Post 6 times a day.
Vegan Businesses Worldwide. Another Vegan Business UK. Vegan Business Exchange, 749. Advertise your vegan products. Vegan Networking Group. Vegan Professional Network.
There's tons.
Yeah. Vegan gift directory. All for vegan
UK
advertising.
Vegan, 46,000 members.
UK small. Oh, that's just a.
No, look at the one. UK Vegan, 46,000 members. There you go. You got an audience. A huge one.
So Sasha, what you would do, Sasha, is Sasha on? Let me just follow Sasha's.
Kadir.
So Sasha, what I would be doing is I would hook them in the group, engage with them, pull them over to your profile, start to produce posts that are relevant to your ideal client profile, that are more engaging, more value pieces, and then maybe give them some checklists of things that they may need to consider in their strategic planning. One of the best things you can do about checklists is you can use the checklist to expose the client has something missing. So Sasha, instead of providing value of what you know and teaching people something new, show them something that they've got missing. And I don't mean like literally you're not doing that. Give them a checklist that shows them they have a problem. How to test your strategic plan or your business plan is bulletproof. And give them a series of checklists that shows them it's not bulletproof.
There's a good one from Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea, I'm looking to start selling jewellery, but don't want to use my home address. Andrea, whereabouts are you based? Because what you can do, Andrea, is first of all, on Facebook, it's you. So if you set up a Shopify store, you can bolt it into your page or whatever you want to do. We use it Shopify for our stuff, actually. But if wherever you are in the world, you can set up a virtual address. If you don't want to use your home address, that's no problem. Mailboxes, etc.
Probably Andrea is thinking that she's already got her own personal profile on Facebook, and she's using that to sell.
Yeah,
she'll have to create a separate one for the business.
Use a separate profile, but you don't need to. Don't necessarily need your home address, but you can put a virtual office. £20 here, something like that.
Or just say the country you're based on. That's it.
Yeah, depending on the shop. Andrea, you're going to need a business address at some point if you're going to sell on e-commerce anyway, because you will need, a returns policy and all of those things that any platform that will allow you to sell will do. So I would do that. Alice, here's the thing. I would go. Alice, I would go for people in particular groups. I would go for particular groups and look at the size of the groups. Zach asked a question on Facebook. Most people do not reveal their job, company, and specific job title. So it's difficult to target a niche. How can we address that? Well, Zach, if you go into a group and ask a question, it will reveal the people to you. A bit like going fishing. Yeah?
Yeah.
You put on the hook, you put some bait on the hook, and you dangle it in the water, and if your bait's right, it will attract the right fish and they'll bite. So if I went into a small business owners group, I would ask a question deliberately to find the people who've got the problem to come out onto the surface, the bait. Now, if you put the wrong bait, you get the wrong fish. Yeah. So the bait has to be something like, for me, I'm selling my social selling accelerator where we, help people sell faster in 13 weeks on social media. Andrea, yeah, there's loads of mailboxes you can use. Dead simple there. Loads of them. Hoxton Mix is a good one. They're quite good. Anyway.
You on Zach.
Zach. So I'm going to small businesses. My aim is to sell them my one strategy, one client, one problem, one message, one offer. I would go into a small business owners group and I wouldn't say, does anybody need social media marketing? Because that would be the wrong thing. How are you frustrated with not getting clients from social media? Yeah, would be a great question. Or have you ever considered giving up on social media for your business? Yeah, because I'm trying to find the people who think it's not working. There's something wrong. Or do you get annoyed when you see people winning clients on Facebook and you're not? These are quite direct ones.
By the way, Zach, what do you do?
Andrea, yes, of course. Zach, if you want to mention what you're doing, I'll happily help you there. So it's the bait you put on the hook that you dangle in the group that will encourage people to bite. And that's the strategy you have to think of. What's the problem? Andrea, of course you can message me on LinkedIn, no problem. So think about that. And that's where you have to get in the client's world, because then you start to think about the things the way they're thinking. Then you just have to find the groups that they'd be in, which for most people will be fairly straightforward. And then you drop the questions in. Now, just a quick thing on the questions. Let's say you've got 8 groups. Let's say you join 8 groups and you've got, 8 questions. Yeah. So you've got 8 questions, 8 groups. That's 64 days of stuff done, because you can use each question in each of the 8 groups on a different day. 64 days. If you do it on weekdays, that's 3 and a bit months. 3 and a bit months of content all done in, a really quick time. So that's how I do it. So if you're going to go fishing, you need a hook and bait.
Okay.
Healthcare sector. So Zach, I'd need to know a bit more, because obviously healthcare is wow. So we'd need to drill down, but is it medical devices? What's the area that you would be looking at? So that's what I'd be looking to. Zach, if you want to drop me an email or something, I'll point you in the line of some groups, but you can just search for them. But you're looking for the groups that they would be part of. Drugs contract manufacturing. Okay, so Zach, let's just put pharmaceutical in.
Generics.
And see what we get.
I think there's even a generic one. Global
Pharma Connection, Pharma Guide, Pharma Medical Jobs. That's not a bad group to be in, because people will be in that. People don't generally leave groups. People don't leave groups. They do eventually, but most people don't leave groups. So you could find that there's people in this group who have got jobs, who are employed. Global Pharma Jobs, Pharmaceutical Companies Recruitment. The Global Federation of Pharmaceutical Industrial Association. So there's a ton of them. Obviously, pharmacy technicians is a bit more out of drug manufacturing. But again, Zach, some of the people you'll want, it'd be worth you checking out our LinkedIn lead generation training, or I would say this wouldn't, our social selling accelerator, because we'll help you in a far more targeted way there.
But can you tell Zach what's the email you should send us a message to?
Send it to hi@maverrik.co.uk, spelt Maverrik the funky way. Andrew Constable, how long should you... Andrew, if you're interacting with them at the time, you can follow their lead. So in other words, if they respond to your question and you've got that bit of dialogue going, send them the friend request as you're doing it and saying, enjoyed our conversation on what group, love to be a friend request you, if that's all right. You can play it very low key. You don't want to be pushy, because, really simple. So that's a really low key way to do it, Andrew, just as you're interacting. I'm really curious to know what Boris Johnson's saying right now, but any more questions before we wrap up tonight? Anybody who's in the Social Selling Accelerator, we've got a live call at 8:30. So you've got the link for that. So come on, it's Ask Anything. For those of you who aren't part of the Social Selling Accelerator, I'd love you to be part of it. Up till the 30th of September, you can get in for $795. After that, it goes up to $995.
Have you got the slide on there?
I haven't got the slide on there. Terry will put the link in there. Of course, you can email me, Alice. So if you want to be part of it, there is a link here called socialselling.uk. Go check it out. If you want to be part of it, you work with me and we will make this all happen. So I'd love to have you on board. Go find the link, go consider it. Consider that whether having me on your case and on your side, and our team on your case and on your side, will help you get more results. If that's the case, go sign up. And there's the email if you want to ask any questions. So guys, hopefully you've got some value from tonight's session. Short, sweet and simple. But the best strategies are simple because it means you can do it, you can follow it, and you don't need to overcomplicate it with technology. How are you doing? Vasco?
No, because for some reason, there's a space between the I and the et.
Oh, don't worry about it. They'll get it. Right, guys, I am going to sign off. But have a great rest of the week. If you're on the call for the live at 8:30, I'll see you in half an hour. And if not, go sign up for Social Selling Accelerator. Have a great rest of the week, everybody.